Greetings, everyone. Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. I hope you're prepared for the new change that's coming every which way, especially in the United States. I don't know how it is wherever you are, but there's so many things happening, and people are going to have to adjust to it. I don't know how people feel about. I know how we feel about aliens. Very few people have any clue. But as far as all the other rights in the United States, as far as gay rights and all those kind of things, everything's being twisted. Abortion laws, marijuana laws. I'm surprised they don't have ET laws out yet. In the United States, I think about 8 states, it's against the law to kill a Bigfoot. But they didn't even prove that they're real or they're in existence. So how do you kill something that's not even provable? And if you do, what's going to happen if you do kill it? Go to jail? So I'm just saying what they're changing the laws on about everything. I mean, what Trump did, he took away a lot of the important laws about the protection of the planet. I don't know, did you see the big piece of ice that broke off the Antarctica?
Yeah. That's mine.
So we got that alone can start changing the water level when it starts melting if it drifts out. So we get so many things to worry about. You talk about what's happening out in England, but here in Hawaii, the UFO world's escalating rapidly. Nobody except the people that are seeing them are talking to me because they know I'm into it. But you don't hear the government or anybody else complaining or people talking about it, which I think it should be at some level because it's happening all the time and everybody's seeing it. But it's still the same old story. Well, I didn't see it. I don't know. I never saw a UFO. I said, look, my book's free. You can read it. And then you'll learn how to go out and see a UFO if you really want to see a UFO. And then you'll be one of those people who say, I never saw a UFO. I mean, half of the people in the UFO world never saw a UFO or were never close to a UFO. And they're going on and on about stories about them. So we're going to get into that. But I'm going to give it over to Tina. Let her say hello and everything. Hello, Tina.
Hello, Tommy. Hello, everyone in Hawaii and in the States. It's Tina Brad here from Southampton in the UK, and it's a pleasure to be with you all again this evening. Please come onto the show, email us, message us, or if you'd like to come on and chat or answer a question or two for us, or we have a question or two. Me and Tommy would be more than delighted to help you with that. Just a little bit of news from the UK. Last night, which was Monday, the 1st of March here in Southampton, it was reported, and there's pictures all over the news here in the UK of a meteorite that hit not far from a place called Milton Keynes in England at 21:54 p.m. last night. Also, there's some weird things been going on. That's not the other meteor. On meteorite news, there was a huge fireball that was filmed in Alberta in Canada this week. So they've had a fireball or meteorite or whatever it was that hit them. We also had one here in the UK last night. So something's obviously coming towards us because the biggest planet of all in our solar system, Jupiter, was hit by a huge meteor this week, and it was caught on camera by the Juno cam. So they've got a camera that revolves around the orbit of Jupiter, and it's managed to record. I haven't seen the images yet. It's managed to record. NASA released that it's managed to record this huge meteor that hit Jupiter's atmosphere and struck the planet, giving off like a bright flashes of light from Jupiter's surface. So whatever sailed past Jupiter, Jupiter obviously saved the Earth because Jupiter's so big and the gravity, everything's pulled towards that. So Jupiter, thank you, saved us for a big hit this week, but 2 smaller ones made it past Jupiter. One hit obviously Alberta in Canada, and the other one hit us here in the UK. So something's obviously gone bang somewhere. On other news, Mount Etna has been erupting left, right, and centre, so that's been quite big news. And it's been quite good with the pyroplasty, and I'm hoping everyone's safe over there. Also, in other news, in Missouri this week in the States, a huge, enormous. It was recorded, so you can watch that again. That was on Microsoft News this week. That was reported in Missouri. There was an enormous flock of migrating birds, geese. But there's been so many. There's obviously millions of them. The sky was black with them, so there is a very unusual size flock of birds there in Missouri. Other news at Mount Etna, we've been there. So NASA said they was going to do a delay over the Artemis. So the SLS Artemis, so that was on eNet News, not sure what that was about. And also SpaceX fired up this week. It has this SN10 Starship prototype, but they had to swap the engines out. So that was done this week. I'm not quite sure. There wasn't a reason given. But apart from that, there's been other news of encounters. 2 or 3 issues arise about UFOs. There are some clearly good pictures taken, and I'm just going to try and find out where they were now. So there have been sightings here in the UK this week. Let's just have a quick look, see if I can pick the file up on that. There was pictures taken of where was that one? No. But there was pictures taken. I'll get to it if I can find it for you. So, rocket. Oh yeah, okay. The new big rocket called a Neutron that is cool. Could fly astronauts. They've come up with a huge. This is from Space News. Again, you can find that on Google. On the Rocket Lab, there's a private launch, and it's going to be called Neutron that could fly astronauts to Mars from the Earth. What else? We've had other I can't find the UFO pictures, but I hope you have a look on, again, if you have a look on Microsoft News or UK News or any of the UFO sites for the UK, you should find it all over there. So hopefully back to Tommy. So there's been quite a bit of news, space news this week about launches, and also there was 5 launches, 5 new Mars rovers to be launched as well, and still awaiting pictures from the helicopter on Mars. And no news on the worms and seeds that went up to the ISS. So they went up about 2 weeks ago now. No news on that, and no pictures back from Mars. But yeah, so there's plenty of rovers on the moon and Mars now. So we should be receiving more pictures than what the public's seeing. Tommy, over to you.
All right. So what I see happening, I mean, China went to the moon. They were on the other side of the moon. They never released much to us. Now we're on Mars, and they got that drone flying around on it. Are they going to release anything? Now, we assume if there's life on that planet, it's underground. Well, they're still going to have a giant gateway to get in and out of the planet. I'm not saying how far their technology is. They can make it look like the planet. I mean, if they fly over it, they wouldn't see it. But it's pretty flatland where they are, so they could see anything that would look like a port or an opening. But, you know, I have my feelings on that. I can't say I ever went to the Mars in my physical body, nor do I want to. Do I believe that there's alien races up there? I really don't care, because they're not helping us. Why would all our money to go there is another story, which I do not care about, which we shouldn't be doing.
No, I agree with you, Tommy. I mean, when the first rover went up and all the tests and everything they did, they found out that the surface of Mars is obviously, it's got an ionized atmosphere. The surface of Mars is radioactive. And when they tested this from all the samples that they collected from Mars, they found that they had a nuclear war there about 5 million years ago, more than that. So if there's been a war and they've let all these bombs or radiation off and it's nuked the planet, completely flattened it, there isn't going to be any life on the surface anyway. And if they did rely on food, there's no food to be had there. I think that if there is an existence, it's very it's not like anything we would expect to find.
Oh, yeah, somebody just.
Oh, he's drinking tea. He's drinking tea today. Not much to add, but he's lurking in the background. Tea with milk.
Get somebody to come on. All right. Yeah, because he can't talk. Sean David Morton, he has a serious problem. He's going to doctors and doctors, and it looks like his cancer is really bad. I feel bad because our government was responsible for what happened to him. I mean, when they put him in there and they didn't treat him ever, didn't give him the right treatment. They gave him all the wrong treatment for whatever problems he had. And then over the past year, they didn't give him any treatment. And they kept him in college. They kept everybody in their prison cell. So it's really an unjust system. I mean, if you were a mass murderer, see, I have my viewpoint on that. I mean, you can put aliens in with them, but people that kill people deserve a different kind of prison than people that haven't did anything that bad. And especially like they're trying to let people that do marijuana and charges like that not serve time, which I think is the right move. How far we get to that and how soon. But
I'm drinking tea, Sasha. Sorry. Carry on, Tommy.
Oh, so but Sean David Morton was a person that actually brought people up to Area 51 when it wasn't known, and actually had people see the ships come in and everything. And he even went on a TV show called Montel Williams.
Yeah, I remember that. Rings a bell.
And he offered Montel Williams to come out there to see the UFOs. But he told him he had to come out on Christmas at a certain day. And he doesn't come out that month. He comes out the next month and goes to the base by himself. He goes, I'm friends with the 4-star general. Nothing's going on there. So he kind of just washed out what actually Sean was promoting. And then when they had Sean on his show, they brought this weird, this police guy, a government guy. He said, well, this is all fake and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, when somebody says they're related to somebody in the government, you got to watch out, especially in the UFO world. So over the past 20 years for me, somebody said that there was a flyby over where? Put that in the chat room. Somebody said it was flyby. Well, there's so many flybys over Hawaii right now and what's going on. I'm talking not flybys. They're cruising over us where people can actually see inside the windows. So there's a video out online that the Maui Observatory shot. All right. And it's incredible. But do you see anybody promoting it, talking about it? I mean, it's even two people from here, third phase of
whatever happened, Tommy, to that other? It was big news here in the UK. Was it 2 years ago? They shut an observatory down in the States, gave no reason, and the CIA and the FBI were there, and it was shut for a few weeks or a month, and no one stormed the place and locked it all up, didn't they? What happened about that? Did they reopen it?
What, the base?
Yeah, they shut it all down. There's an observatory in America.
They lie. Everything you hear is a lie.
No. It was going back. It was on. They're reporting on the news here and there.
You know, when they said they closed the HARP system down, they never closed it down. I mean, it was the biggest news. They shut it down, and they got people to buy it. Another lie. Anything the United States government says about UFOs, aliens, was a complete lie up until this point. So what I wanted to get into a little now, I don't even know how many days it is. Probably within 80 days, the United States government is supposed to release their UFO files. What files are they going to release? What are they actually going to omit? Now, one of the most bizarre stories, I mentioned it already, that they said the Navy shot down a ship, pulled it up on a ship, trying to see what it was and everything, and the aliens came out and froze 22 people and turned them into stone. and they were all taken somewhere. That's the story they released. Now, why would they release that story when they didn't even admit that UFOs are flying over us? It's going to be a game. And I mean, I don't believe in the idea of a fake UFO war. I mean, people keep talking about that. You can't fake it. There's no way they're going to fake a UFO invasion. I mean, if they had holograms in the sky and things like that, it wouldn't mean a thing. And if people would believe just a hologram going across the sky or coming down, James Gillen, everybody know who he is. He actually owns the East City Ranch. And he had a picture, he said, of a 45-foot alien coming out of the mountain. And I said, well, what happened? It started walking towards his ranch and disappeared. I said, well, does that sound like an alien or does that sound like a hologram? I said, it was a hologram. I don't care what you say, do, or believe. And he goes on about what people take these stories and they blow them up and make them super gigantic, and they expect everybody to believe it.
I have noticed lately there's been a massive decline on people coming forward to say that they've been abducted. You've had some historical cases where people have now, like they're reaching my age, that have come forward, but there's no new cases that have been reported of abduction, not to my knowledge.
Well, there's a lot on it. I have one almost. If I go out and spend a week outside talking to anybody, I'll get somebody that was abducted. All right. But here, people are smart. You get abducted, nobody is going to do anything for you.
No.
You're not going to get any kind of help. And if you go to a UFO meeting, you're going to get all these brain dead people that will say, oh, you're going to help us, even though you know you want to operate in your table and they were taking you apart and doing all these other things. There's no beneficial help. So I brought this up and I'll bring it up again. There's 120 scientists and doctors that meet every couple 6 months or so, and they try to talk about what happened to them. Some of them said they became psychic. Some of them said they became sick. Some of them have no awareness. So, what are these aliens doing to these people's memories? I'm telling you, they're screwing with them, changing them. And I like dealing with Tina because she's pretty aware of everything in a great way. It's not like she was completely mind froze or anything like that, or reprogrammed with the whole ridiculous story, which most of the UFO experiences are. Now, take every experience you hear from every conference, from every experiencer, and put them together. They don't even fit together. They don't even have a story that's usable or beneficial. Now, if I was going to meet a being, an angel, I would ask him something important. I would want to know something beneficial. Otherwise, what would be the purpose of it? It's like if you stood before God right now, what would you ask it? Do you have a clue? I mean, most people have no clue what they would ask it, and they would probably end up asking some stupid question. We have a serious problem with aliens on this planet coming here, what they're doing, what they need, what they want, and nobody really wants to talk about that part of it. All they want to talk about is there's UFOs in the sky. Wow. I mean, is there stars in the sky?
There's UFOs in the sky, in the seas, on landing and crashing,
So
abducting people.
There's so much going on, and people refuse to look for the truth. They settle for the lies. Ancient Alien, I think, was one of the worst shows ever put on TV.
Oh no, I think that's great.
You think it's great?
Yeah, it gives you you get different people. I know what they have different theories.
You get the same 5 people with their dumb theories.
But I like the views. They take you places around the world. You see things you don't normally see, and asking questions. Anyone that's asking questions is good.
A question about something. There's not one person that could answer a question about the pyramids today, after 100 years. Well, we don't know. Oh, so stupid idea of how it was created and why. Oh, they did this. They must have used it for that. Oh, they must have did this. Oh, they must have did that. Oh, this must prove that. I mean, if you draw something and it looks like a UFO, oh, it's a UFO. If you draw something that looks like a dolphin, it looks like a dolphin. What about mermaids and Pegasus? Were they all real? maybe they were, but I mean, I know they were, but in a different dimension. But well, what good is it for us right now? Are we going to go
We
pull?
don't know enough about our own history.
We don't know. The United States doesn't know the Native American history, and they're worried about the Anunnaki's history, how supposedly they were created. I mean, well, we have so many problems going on now. The oceans defrosting and all these other little things that could cause a serious problem in the near future. But all right, let's get down to a couple important facts. Aliens are real. I know it for a fact. Tina knows it for a fact. UFOs are real. I know it for a fact. She knows it for a fact. Are they good? I know they're not. She knows they're not. I mean, I have been working with people that were abducted many, many, many years ago, lost their children, and things like that. Does anybody talk about that anymore? No. Only the good aliens that are going to come and save mankind and bring us to the sixth dimension. Well, you screw yourself into a light bulb, you'll get to the sixth dimension real fast. We're going through this horrible situation. We got a government so screwed up because two politicians don't like each other. Two political parties don't like each other, and we can't even get straight on that. So we're changing laws, playing with money, starving people, making people lose their jobs, feeding them this virus vaccine now. And guess what? We're causing more problems. Now, are all aliens dead? Most of them are. The ones that are working with this planet are. Otherwise, the planet would be different. Even Billy Myers, he worked with the Pleiadians. I don't know how much you want to believe of that story or not. That's your choice. All right. But he had more facts out there, more videos, pictures going up than anybody. I'm not saying a lot of them weren't recreated or created by him. But he did work with aliens because even Sean David Martin and Fred Bell met with him and brought him out to California. My friend Sean saw a UFO while he was out there. So he actually works with races or beings or how much he does. I mean, when you bring up like Corey Good, he goes, well, they're not with me right now, but they did. They showed me a whole bunch of videos. So you got proof of any of that? The action that we see is limited because they block most of the action. When Sean was taking people out to Area 51, they were right on top of the mountain, overlooking the base. And when they knew that he was doing that, they bought all that land around there so nobody could go near it. And then they put all kinds of secret police and government and all kinds of weird things around that. So were they protecting something? Of course they were. And now when we hear whistleblowers, they're still talking about which one? Roswell? Like it's the most important one? Well, if you knew the other side of it, it might be important. But a ship crashing and them taking aliens away, how important is that? How often do they do that now? They did it on Long Island. John Ford's in the nut house right now. Who filmed it? I saw the video. And it was the best video ever taken of a ship on the ground smashed up. So, and for 3 weeks, they locked down Long Island, the whole section of it, about a quarter of a square mile. And these black trailers were going in and out of it. Why would they be doing that if nothing happened? I mean, I went out there after it was all cleaned off, and I saw that where the ship crashed in there. It notched out all the trees. They tried burning all the trees down, which didn't work because all the trees were still there. No leaves on them, but they had all these giant notches, and it looked like a runway. So all those little things, they try to cover up things the best they can. And they set it on fire for 2 weeks and thought that would be enough, which it wasn't. It's flatland. And you can't have a fire on Long Island for more than a day or two. I mean, to have it burning for so many weeks was ridiculous. So the stories that we're hearing from other people are twisted. So I'm trying to get you people to listen. If you want to see a UFO, I'll send you my manual for free. It's 200 pages.
I think now there was especially here, I found looking back over my historical case, like once my interviewer had interviewed me in my case, even now I look back and think, I look at things in like times of year and things like that. So it's either been in very warm early summer or deep late summer and it's still hot, or very dark, cold winters. So we're in for a nice hot spell. So you never know. But sightings, not just here, around the world. And Tommy's right, Hawaii is a hub of UFO activity. But keep your eyes open around Mount Etna. Mount Etna is erupting at the moment. It has been erupting for about a week now. I'm not quite sure, probably longer than that. So keep your eyes for appeal for UFOs for that, and just look up in the sky. There's been so many clear nights now here in England. The nights have been so clear and you can see the stars clearly. So please go out, get your telescopes out, get your binoculars out, get your phones out, and just start snapping, zooming in, and having a look, people. You'll see something.
Well, I didn't even get a chance to start using my cell phone. It takes the most incredible pictures ever. It's just like a really good camera. You probably have to pay $2,000 or $1,500 to get a camera that's as good as that in my cell phone. The quality of photographs is outrageous. Most cell phones were 4K, and this is 8K, so it's doubled every camera that is out there. But what I'm trying to say is, people, you need to wake up, you need to see the truth, find the truth yourself. First, the first important thing is realize there's UFOs over us.
Yeah.
You don't have to be anywhere specific. The ships that they travel in travel at the speed of light. Okay, you're not going to see them with your naked eye. But I give you a simple technique in my book. Take your video camera, put it towards the sky, set the zoom on 3/4 zoom, make sure the sun's over your back, and leave it on for a half hour. Don't touch it. Just leave it on for a half hour. Then take it, put it on your computer, watch it in super slow motion. Some cameras, they all shoot different amount of frames. I mean, some cameras it's 30 frames, sometimes some cameras it's 10 frames. But the more frames, the longer it's going to take you to watch that half hour. But I'm telling you,
there is something.
Wait. When I worked with Sergeant 18, when we shot videos and we watched them, we would see about 2 to 3 ships in every half hour over Jersey. So it's not like you have to be over a specific area, but you need a way to watch them that they travel, because they don't travel super slow in a day. They don't want to be spotted during the day. I guess they would be too easy to be shot down. And they're not stupid. Realize they're a lot more intelligent in a lot of ways, not spiritually, but psychically, not psychically either. I mean, they have psychic abilities, but that doesn't make them spiritual and doesn't make them a good person to be watching us. I'll give it back to you, Tina.
Just on that, there's this week, within about 10 days, I've received reports from at least 5 people, confirmed reports with other people, so 2 are female and 1 male, have all been witnessed by other people, have come forward and said that they've had, like on the base of your bottom, where your tailbone, human's tailbone used to be, people had red dots, like tiny lumps, about half the size of the end of a rubber, and they've been red. And quite a few people that have either suspected they've been abducted have had this witnessed by other people. So if they've thought they've had it on them or not known, and other people spotted it on them and come forward and said, you have this. There's at least 5 people, but there's at least 3 of those 5 that have come forward to say that other people have seen them. So it is that is been unusual, but that's been something either in the abduction field or something that's going on for 5 people, and at least 3 that have been seen by other people, not just here in the UK, across the States, in other countries too. So if you're one of those people and you or your partner has this lump or been spotted, this like a spotty lump right at the base of your tailbone, right in the middle there, please let me know on Hive. and we'll see what we can do. We'll take some more information about that. Yes.
When did you? I mean, when was like the first UFO conference that you actually went to?
About 2016, 17.
Oh, really? Just rather recently, huh?
Yeah, I've never been into. I worked all my life, so I haven't really had spare time, and I've been married, and I've always thrown myself. Oh well, I've always worked, so and I didn't ever really want to come forward with my story. It's something that I wasn't really aware that I thought it happened to everybody a lot, and it wasn't. I didn't come forward. I didn't research UFOs before. I didn't look into it before. As I said, when things came to a point and I needed help, I needed answers from my partner, and I just needed someone to explain what was going on, and I needed answers. That I turned to the UFO field, and they said to me, "You need to make an abduction report." I'm like, "What is that?" Didn't know what it was. Who do I speak to about that? How do I go about making it? And there was no help here in the UK. Me and my partner continued to be ill, and our health was declining. It was pretty serious. Touch and go at a couple of points actually. So that I came forward for help and answers from the UFO field, and then so it wasn't. I've never researched UFOs previously to that. No big interest in it. My biggest interest in anything like that was maybe watching Star Trek on telly, but that's about it. So till then, I'm pretty new to the UFO field, and it wasn't till my case was looked into far more and investigated, and it's opened up all of this. So like I haven't been in this field, but even I'm not stupid. I'm a person who knows that people out there like me that have had trauma, that need medical attention. Anyone that's been abducted or they think they've been abducted should have free medical treatment. It costs people in the world. People in Africa can't even get medical treatment, or if they can, they can't afford it. Or other countries, it just costs. So this should be free. There should be government subsidies for this. Sorry, Tommy, carry on.
Until I'm sure the government has their view on that. Like, well, until you can prove it to us, we're not going to accept it. We could just say you're crazy and we don't have to worry about it.
Actually, Michio Kaku, one of the brainiest men on the planet, has turned around and said that actually UFOs do exist is on the government now. There's so much what you call burden of proof. There's so much burden of proof out there for UFOs, for abductees now, that it's down to the government to disprove it. So the proof for it outweighs the proof against UFOs now.
Oh no,
so
I agree. Totally. We're at a place right now. Most people still don't want to come out and admit that they've been abducted. The ones that are coming out, the ones that are programmed that they had a good experience. So it could be part of the program. Go out and tell the world that we're such a good race and we're going to help you. And that's when they come out. Now, I've tried to explain it to somebody about reincarnation and all the words karma. I mean, why people have different sexual ideas in their consciousness when they're little. And also all the UFO people that come out and say, well, I made an agreement with the aliens in my last life. No, you didn't. Don't even go there. I mean, you're not going to come back in this lifetime for an alien. And if you do, you must be working for Lucifer or Satan, not Lucifer, sorry, Satan, rather than anything spiritual, because there's no reason to come back if you're a aware being. But to say you're working with an alien race in another lifetime and you're coming back so that they could operate on you, how lame is that? And too many people in the UFO world admit that or say that. Well, I made an agreement. No, why would you do that? I mean, you have a family, you have a relationship with them and stuff, and you got situations in this lifetime you got to deal with, and you're going to give that over to some alien race? For what reason? They're not helping us. So let's get into this details. Okay, we know basically. I know about 9 races. I mean, Putin said there's 27. T.J. Morris, who I did the show with, her husband said there was 27 as well. Now, Bob Dean, who is one of the top speakers in the UFO world, who passed on, was speaking about, I think he said 37 races that he worked with. Anna Hayes, I don't know what her new name is, said she worked with 120 races. I mean, she wrote 2 books, many books way back then. Pretty famous now again, and I never agreed with half of her stuff.
So it makes
But
me laugh. People say that they work with these other races. Half the people on the planet can't even work the human race, let alone other races.
you can't work with your family when you're working with this race. Doing what? What do you think
Yeah.
a race would need from a person here? See, and I know this is what I will explain. And I know because it impressed me way back when I saw it on TV. This is one of the few shows on, I don't know what show, it might have been Ancient Aliens, but I don't think so. It's like Ancient History, maybe. When they showed this island with all these skeletons in a cave with their skulls cut in circles, and they were all in different sitting positions. How in the world was that created and why? I mean, if you're going to operate
Was
on
that
somebody,
Peru? Was that Peru? I want to say Peru.
I thought
Might
it was
not be.
Easter Island. It wasn't Easter Island, but it was an island. But why would you have them in all different positions if you're trying to operate on them? And if it was done on an operation, you wouldn't be able to keep them in the same position. So this had to be done with super high technology. Bang, and they just opened their skull and took their brain out. So even that, it was never anything good. But they only found out recently, and I mean Buddhism, the lamas knew there was a crystal inside the body. All high lamas have a crystal or a gem inside them. When they burn their bodies, there's a gem there when they go to the ashes. But recently, when I was taking Kunlun, one of our people that was in the class was a doctor, and he was working with the people that discovered the crystal inside the brain. It's a really microscopic crystal, but it actually is responsible for producing adrenaline in the body. But what I'm saying is, a crystal is a knowledgeable thing. So why alien races would have taken this crystal out of the brain? To see what knowledge, any knowledge that we did have, which was very limited then. So people, it's time to look at the facts, not the stories, not listening to the stories, not waiting for good aliens to come down. I mean, you're going to wait for Trump to come back and make the world better again? Is that your viewpoint? I mean, where are you going with your thoughts? Do you care about people starving? Oh, we love the world. We love it. You talk about moving forward in higher dimensions. We can't take care of our children. And you want to go somewhere like you deserve a better place to be? No, you're in hell. You deserve to stay in it. Until you learn enough to respect everything around you, including yourself, where do you expect to go? To La La Land and stay in there and think of nothing? That's your choice. Now, I live with a Lama, and it's really hard talking about that state because Buddha created and all his teachings come from the oneness, the non-state. So for me, that's a state. It's a state to go into. I call it the bliss state, and you be in bliss. But why would you want to be in bliss? Is that a purpose? I mean, it's like living life in bliss. Imagine everything was perfect. Nothing changed. Nothing was different. And it was exactly the same every single day. I mean, you actually didn't have to move because there was nothing to move to or from or eat or go. So would that be a perfect space to be? I mean, the only thing that makes planet Earth exciting is something different. I mean, and I realized over the past couple months how dreams are so incredible. And I watched these other sites talking about this, that, and I said, it's not like the consciousness. It is a part of your thinking, and it's affected by that.
Can I ask you a question about dreams, actually, Tommy, with that? That's
Go
just
ahead.
brought something to my mind. Every now and then, everybody has freaky dreams. So I don't dream very often. Recently, I've been dreaming a lot. So I'm not sure if I've had time on my hands, caught up on my sleep, been stressed. I have no idea. I was in the middle of a dream. It was weird. And I kind of knew what was going on in the dream. So, but as I turned around in this dream, there was 3 younger men stood in a dream, black hair with black bomber jackets on with these ski goggles, like the orangey ski goggles.
Okay.
Not the giant one, yeah, like that. And they were looking at me, and I knew the second I realised they weren't supposed to be in my dream. And one of them was looking at me as if to say, yeah, I was right. Shit, did I know? Oh, sorry, my language. That I noticed that they were in my dream. And a couple of seconds after I realised they weren't supposed to be in my dream, I wake up. I thought they had no place in being there. And I never had that before. Like, you're not supposed to be in my dream. I didn't recognise them. So I don't know how you dream of people that you don't know or never met.
Well, here's the thing. All right. I did dream research. I did dream study for years and years.
Regale me then. What does that mean?
All right. Here's what happens. When you go to sleep, right before you go to sleep, the soul itself is completely aware. All right. It can make a choice to leave the body or not. And that's when it usually does. All right. But when you fall asleep, they talk about lucid dreaming and dreams. So put them in two places, one here and one next to it. Your dreams are based on everything going on inside the brain. All right. Lucid dream is splitting into the soul's awareness, which means all its past lives and all the experiences that it went through. So now when you go into lucid dreaming, it combines both of them. Because now you're stepping from the one into the other, which means you're seeing things that you can't normally see or understand, and they're suddenly interfering with what you're going through. But see, now that affects what you're doing within your dream. I mean, you could be counting chickens and then an alien walks into your dream and suddenly now you're shooting at chickens, whatever. It will change the reality in your dream itself. But it usually shifts in the lucid dream part of it.
But they weren't doing anything there. They were there observing me. They were looking at me.
You're opening that gateway because once you're in lucid dream, you're out of the body. Okay. You're facing everything that exists.
Yeah, I've had a lot of dreams. I've been flying lately. A lot of flying dreams lately.
That's not the body doing it. All right. Again, that point of change where you're stepping into the movement. All right. That's outside of the body. You can go to, like I told what's his face, to go around the planet to look at the world to make sure that it's not flat, and he learns something real fast. But see, that all takes skill, practice, learning, and the other word you do need is protection. Because there's demons there as well. So people want to believe in aliens, but they don't want to believe in demons. People believe in demons, they don't want to believe in aliens. People don't want to believe in angels, demons, and aliens. I mean, there's a lot of different things that are all real, and they all affect us in different ways, depending on where your attention is, where you allow yourself to go, and your protection. All right. So most people have very little protection, especially when they close their eyes. So when they leave their body, they're unprotected. If they never met an angel or a spirit guide, they are totally unprotected. When you do drugs, it pulls you into that space where you have no protection. And that's the worst place to be in the inner world. You're going to see things and experience things, but they're not beneficial.
So how could I be aware that those three people, one specifically, they was not supposed to be there? How was I aware that was going on then? And how do you dream about people you don't know or never met then? That's freaky to me.
I just explained it to you.
Yeah, but it still doesn't make sense.
If you see a dinosaur walking in your dream, you never met a dinosaur.
No. But I know what a dinosaur is. Yeah, I know what you mean.
If a frog came over to you and started talking, did you ever see a frog talk?
No.
No. So all these little things, the mind is hallucinating as well. All right. It takes what it knows and pushes it together. When you have an out-of-body experience, and I try to explain this to people that even say they had out-of-body experience.
I was listening.
When you leave your body's experience, your soul's experiencing things that the mind can't perceive. When your soul comes back into your body, when you wake up or you come out of the dream, the mind has to translate it. If you were put in a bowl of jelly, and okay, translate what that is, and then you come back into your mind. The mind's going to be in chaos because it has no idea what it is. It was in its mass. It doesn't know what the mass is, has no way to determine what the mass is. So the mind comes up with whatever it can perceive and create from that idea. So things can come in here, and the same is, you know what the word remote viewing is, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever try it? Did you ever do it?
So in a freaky way, yes, because I watched. It wasn't until I met Tracy, I want to make sure I got her name right. Is it Tracy Gubbins or Gubbin? That's Richard Jolin's wife. Apparently she's a trained.
Okay, right.
I listened to her speech, but before that I used to have deja vu or dreams.
Okay.
What you recall, I'm not sure if you now they probably recall it viewing, remote viewing. But I used to dream or have these dreams of people people I'd never met, I didn't know. But 10 years' time, I look at that person and know them and think, well, they're the same person that I've seen. So whether that is remote viewing or I could see something or think of something and think, yeah, that's there. And when I go there, it's there.
Why I had brought that up. Now, people are learning how to do that on this planet. The Army really trained people to do it. I can do it. I mean, anybody can learn how to do it. Here's what I'm going to say. I could walk into your dream. Just like that. If you don't have protection and you don't have a block, I could do that to you right now.
I think I've been in one of my friends' dreams. Yeah.
So now what I'm saying is you're so close to this alien race. There's a lot of people keeping track of you on the inner worlds. I'm sure of it. So what would stop them from looking at you, observing you? I mean, they're not making you do things right now. You don't feel like you're doing things that you don't need to do or want to do. So it's not like they're hurting you in any great way. I mean, I feel that they're protecting you from the radiation poisoning that you had. I seriously do. And most people would have been dead. Radiation doesn't just disappear. And when it's at a level,
did this week. I had a Skype chat with someone on Skype about 3 or 4 days ago, and I got my Geiger counter out, put it on, and nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. It didn't come. It didn't beep. No flashes. Nothing.
So put it on right now. Put it on right now.
Put it on right now. Right then. So, just so everyone who hasn't seen before, this is a Geiger counter I use. Tommy has identical one, exactly the same. So just going to switch it on there. Excuse my. No, I've been gardening. So now it's on. So it's not my TV reading because I've got one of those little TVs. So we're going to
just put it in front of the camera because it should read for the TV at least, and it's not.
No, I've got a smart TV, one of those Levino TVs. It doesn't give off anything.
Okay,
so
now
it's not picking up. So the top one is volts per meter, and the bottom one is radiation. Geiger counter is microteslas. So nothing's picking up, nothing from the TV, nothing else. And I'll pop it on my head, and there you go.
Turn it. I can't see. Is that the bottom or the top that's lighting up?
Bottom one.
The bottom?
Yep.
You're radioactive again.
Yep. So it is reading 0.65, and I'm
but it's a dangerous level where the light wouldn't be going off. So see, people, the radiation is
so let's try this side.
Body.
Oh, they got it this side as well.
That's bad. We didn't have much last week, but now you got it bad again. Go down further. Go down to your heart.
I'm going down in stages. There's 74 there.
Go.
Oh, it's 39. It's dropping off there.
Go down to your arm.
I was trying my arm. Hold on. Oh, okay. Try that way then. Bit like rolling on Judgment, isn't it? I've got nothing there. Oh, yeah, there. Hold on. It's 0.3. See it there? Oh.
But she used to get it there really high. And now you're getting it.
Now it's nothing. Now
you're getting it by your head.
There is. Yeah, hold on.
Sasha, you seeing that? Is he still there?
I think he is. Hold on.
You can come on if you want. No problem.
Hold on. Let me just do my knees. Because my partner's kneecap was bleeping like mad the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my ankle and knee was. But today my knee and ankle's not going off. Hold on.
See, people, that's something that nobody else has happening.
Oh, hold on, mate. 0.02 on my left ankle bone, just above my ankle bone.
So I never got radiation. I got high electromagnetic field against me, but I never got radiation. But driving around town, I put it on to see how bad it is. And it's pretty bad in Hawaii in certain spots, especially near the school here. When I go past the school, it starts beeping. I found out they buried bombs underneath the school. So, seriously, we had a lot of bombs here after Fukushima.
There's nothing apart from There, so try it by my nose. Nothing by my nose.
Did it stop now? See, for it to
Hold on.
stop and go and come on and stop, and now it stopped again. That is so weird.
Nothing.
Like I said, I think there's some form of
How?
protection somehow with you. I guess they realized you had it and they blocked it. Now, and I'm going to tell you something. I knew one person from MJ12, and this
Oh,
was
it's going there. Just there.
Oh, it's there.
See it? Bottom one.
Right. I knew a person from MJ12, and they were going to give us something called honey. And I'm sure you all know what honey is, but this honey was the cure for all the sicknesses on this planet. But he ended up dead, and we never got the honey either. But why didn't they give it to the world to help the world if they were here to help us? See, people think aliens are going to help us. And if you go through history, mankind is the best that we have ever been. I don't believe so. I mean, we're the highest in all the crimes and the abuse and all those things that weren't super high in those days. Families, I mean, they have different morals in different tribes, but they weren't out killing each other in a way. So we know that. We better stop playing that song "Radioactive" or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't explain it. I'll move it away. It'll start beeping on me.
So, okay, people. I want to take calls. I mean, send us a call, email, however you want to do it. We'll take.
If you can explain radiation, guys, I much appreciate
anybody
it.
that can understand how she could come and go on and off, high and low, within an hour.
5 minutes, actually.
Right, in 5 minutes, it just disappears. Comes back. Now, when CERN gets turned on, the radioactive field is super dangerous. When it's turned off, it's shut off. But that would be an electric field of radiation. Now, I don't know how Tina would radiate that to be able to turn it on and off. If you have a clue on that, let us know, because I'd love to hear a solution or an answer to that. And whatever his name is, Mitsu or whatever.
Distance radiation.
I wish we could text him that. He's in the chat. Maybe we can send him a link on that and ask him. All right. But people, look, we didn't get into too many hardcore things today, which I did want to get into. We're in trouble every which way. And are you ready to deal with it, understand it, or even analyze it for yourself to learn what's the truth behind it? All right. Aliens are not going to help us. Please don't believe they are. Realize, and this is the simplest way I could put it. Take an arena with maybe 3,000 people in it. Take 100 SWAT team from a bad group of people with machine guns and everything else and grenades. Who's going to walk out of there? The good people or the people with the weapons? Realize we have the 9 races that are here. They have really bad weapons. I mean, we know how to kill the Greys. We know how to kill the reptilians. But they do have bad weapons that they could attack us with, which they have used. I mean, to shoot down a ship or make it disappear and things like that. So, yeah, the technology is way beyond what we have because they give us the tail end of what they don't want anymore. Billy Meyer's ships are no longer used by the Pleiadians. But one was spotted over California, I think 2 years ago. Really close. It came right down to the beach in California. So guess what? Somebody's playing with their ships because they're not using them anymore. And to drive them like that, aliens don't drive stupid unless they're shot down. So there's a lot to go on as far as finding the truth, piecing it together to get more foundation of what's really happening. But with that, Tina, you want to promote your book before the show ends?
Yes, I'm gonna. So just to say, guys, if you have a question, please email, message Tommy, message me. If you have an answer to any of the questions that we've asked on any of the previous shows, please let us know. You can ask if you do have answers. Me and Tommy would love answers. Or we've had a few guests on. If you have an answer for any of the guest questions, or if you'd like to ask any of our previous guests a question, please contact us. Please keep looking out for sightings. Please keep looking out for unidentified flying objects. If you know something that you could come forward or something you'd like to share, please do so. I've been Tina Bird here in the UK. You can find me at ET Gout on Facebook. This is one of my first books. So that's The Guardians of Light and the Brother of the Night by T.A. Bird. There it is, and you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on, I think you can download this and you can get it on Amazon. My second book, oh, sorry, I'm not sure what I'm doing there. My computer's having a little play, sorry. So this book here is a short story book, and you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on Kindle and download. It is free on Kindle if you have Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get this book for free. There's a picture of me on the back with my little IBSN number, and there's my little book, short story book. It is erotica book, this one. But I do have another book, part 2 to this one, called The Two-Edged Sword. That will be coming out later in the year. It was due out about February time. And I'm just starting my The Bonded, Truth About Alien Abduction, about the Tina Bird story, my story about abduction. But that will probably be a lot later in the year. So I'm just getting going on that. So hopefully that might be released towards the end of this year sometimes. But between now and then, keep sky watching, people. Any news, any space news, please contact me and Tommy, and we'll have some more for you next week. But from me, Tina Bird here in the UK, it's good night, and good night to Tommy. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and thank you for coming on to our chat room, guys. And
well, thank you, Tina. It's always a pleasure.
It's
we'll
my
talk
pleasure.
Next week. Anything cool, text me, email me, whatever. I don't know what he put about 6 foot distancing for radiation. But, oh man, what did I do to the screen? All right. So, till next time, Tina, enjoy yourself. Anything good. Stay safe. Don't
Andrew,
get too
take care.
radioactive.
Bye-bye. Bye, Tommy. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. All right, people. I'm just trying to see what I can do with this message from John. All right. Radiation is extremely dangerous. I'm sure you all know that. Even when you go for an x-ray, you got to wear a steel plate around the rest of your body that's not getting exposed, that's going to get exposed, and they don't go near you when you're being zapped with it. They're outside the room. But, you know, the world's becoming radioactive, and a certain alien race wants it that way. And I don't want to get into that right now because we don't have time, but anybody wants to look at the stars in the sky, please text me, Hawksblood1, AOL.com. I will send you a PDF file with my book on how to see a UFO field manual. And I promise you, if you read it, you'll be able to see a UFO. Mars and SpaceX launches again tonight. Well, I really don't care what's going on Mars because it's not going to help us in any way. And to think people are going to be able to hide out there anytime soon is another ridiculous idea. And all these stories in the UFO world about it, I say, well, show us some proof. Anything. Show us some real proof other than a bunch of words. Famous elder said, words are just words until they add up to something. And nothing's been adding up to anything, including the whole story about the Anunnaki. Sure, pyramids are real. But why? Why were these giant buildings created and no other cities for the people? Well, and the cities that they do find are small. To build a pyramid, you know how many people it would take if you believe that idea even? So all their theories are so far-fetched and so unclose to the truth. But are aliens helping us? They are not. Tesla was working with an alien race. I don't know what race. I'd love to find out the real answer to that. I don't know who could give it to me. Most psychics have no clue or can't even get in touch with that. But what race he worked with? why they gave him that information to actually hurt the planet. And it's not helping the planet. All the stuff he came out with, oh, well, it's free energy, it's free this, it's all free what? Free suicide? Well, the ground's toxic, the water's toxic, the air's toxic. So how about cleaning that up before anything else? You're going to help us do something important for the world. Like I said about the honey that could cure any disease. It could cure the virus. If we would have gotten it from Mr. I can't say his name, sorry. One of the MK12 people. But, they have the power over the government, over the president. And I'm sure people don't want to understand how much power that really is over the world. All right. When you control the whole UFO world, you control the world. So when Evie, which was the alien they brought into the government buildings, he was giving them some information, but it was a trade. Because if you read Phil Snyder's story and what really happened when that went down, you might understand aliens aren't good or as good as people want to think they are, say they are, or believe they are. With that, people, enjoy your day, whatever. Do what you can. Look for the truth always. Don't stop looking. Always think about the word spiritual and what it means. Try to find it, because it's not what most people understand it to be. And if you do, you'll have a greater mission in life and death. With that, peace, love, compassion. Hope you get whatever you need in the near future. Hope it makes you happy. But realize there's a different reality after this world. Till next time. Well, I said that many times. The astral plane's merging with the physical plane because of the Montauk Project and the Philadelphia experiment. That's what allowed that vortex to open, to allow all negative demons, creatures, entities, everything else to come into this reality. And the government cannot close it. With that, if you want to know the truth about that, you're not going to get it out there. One day I'll do a show on it, maybe the whole show, but not with Tina. I'll do a show on that alone, maybe real soon. All right, buddy. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Peace. Thanks for everybody coming into the chat room.